Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 2 of The Expanse. After the first one, I wasn't really as gripped as I was hoping I would be. I thought it was a little slow. There was a lot of information, but it was still slow moving. And I think I was having a hard time kind of catching on to everybody's names. They weren't doing the best job, like telling you who each person was, what their job is. It was just kind of like if you didn't have the captions on, you wouldn't know certain people's names and like what was going on, which is fine. Like the whole point is to learn about these people. So that's what I'm here for. But it was really hard for me to remember who everybody was, what their job was, what are we on Ceres, are we on Earth, or we haven't been on Mars, but like what's a belter, what's this, what's that. So it was a lot to take in, and I feel like this is one of those shows that you are going to have to learn it over time, and then you'll eventually catch on. But one thing that I did not expect was to lose the Canterbury in the first episode. Really, when the missiles flew past the night, I was like, "Oh, they're just gonna break apart the ship, and then they're gonna use part of, the scopuli to like put it back together, and then they're gonna go back to Earth, or they're gonna go to Ceres, or I already had like this thing that I wasn't worried about the ship, and then it was obliterated. That was kind of one of those moments where I was just like, oh, oh, so I didn't expect to lose the main ship, which apparently is not the main ship. it's it's not our Enterprise. It's our Kelvin, apparently. Now I don't know what's gonna happen with the main crew that we are left with that is on the night. Are they gonna have to go back to the Scopuli and try to use that ship? Because we know that that blue radioactive misty thingy science is still on the scopuli, or at least it was on the scopuli. And like, where's Julie? Because they were like, oh, this is a fake distress signal, but then like it was Julie's voice. Is she still on the ship? Was she hiding? Um, do the Martians have her? Was it even the Martians that destroyed the Canterbury? I know that we were told that they were using the stealth technology that the Martians have, but that does not mean that it's the Martians. I've learned enough to know do not always take what somebody says as definitive proof. Investigate. And then back on Ceres, Detective Miller is attempting an investigation to find Julie, but it's kind of off book. Now, I was really kind of confused by that because I even pointed out that she was wearing an outfit that had her name on it. So she obviously is part of that crew, or she joined that crew. So I don't know why she'd be considered missing, or that like there's a disappearance. It seems like there would be like a manifest that has her name on it, like Julie Mao, crew member. So like there's something not stirring the Kool-Aid with that. And Detective Miller is also kind of a dirty cop, and he's considered a traitor. So like it seems like the cops don't like him and the Belders don't like him. So he's kind of a man without a village, um, but with a really dumb looking hat. I really don't like his hat. I don't know. It's just not for me, which is fine. If he likes it, that's all that matters, right? And Vargas is paying him to ignore the air filters, and then later on, Detective Miller sees like the children like choking because they can't breathe properly, and it seems like you really want to be able to breathe properly if you're on an asteroid. So later on, he pays a visit to Vargas and pretty much threatens to take away his air if he doesn't do something about it. So he seems like a man who has a conscience, at least, even though he didn't until there was a consequence. Not quite sure on Miller. I feel like Thomas Jane, because it's Thomas Jane playing this character, he is our main character and he should be somebody that we like or we're rooting for, or we don't. I'm not sure. I'm not really hooked on anybody. The only person that I really felt anything for, which I couldn't even remember what show I knew him from, was Shed, and that's because the actor that plays him, Paulo Costanzo or something like that, he was in Royal Pains, so I recognized him. He's the only one that I have any attachment to now. Because they took away Jonathan Banks. I was so excited for Jonathan Banks, and then gone. So I'm gonna grip onto him. That's my guy. We were also introduced to Christian, which I don't know much about her other than she's got that cool ass voice. Like she's just like it just commands authority and marvels, but mostly authority. But she's a UN official, and she's torturing somebody who has the Martian stealth technology, which was contraband. And he's part of the OPA, which wants to be a separate government from Earth and Mars. Just the belt. So I'm really interested to see kind of what role she's playing in this, because she doesn't seem likable. She doesn't seem like somebody you're rooting for. I feel like of all the people's side that I'm on the belter side. Like, I want them to be okay. I want them to be healthy. I want them to have a little bit more gravity, so their bodies are all right. Definitely, she's cool for a character, but I don't think I'm going to like her very much. So then we're left with Holden, who lost his ship and his girl. Addie was going to say something to him before the ship was blown up. And at the time I was like, I'm pregnant, I love you. But then I realized there wasn't really a lot of emotion that was being said in that moment when she says, like, you need to know something. It was probably more like she knew something that she shouldn't have, or she knew something a little bit more in depth, maybe about the Earth-Mars war over Ceres, about all of that. I'm thinking, because if it were, I'm pregnant, like, it would be like, I'm crying, or if I love you, it would be filled with a lot more emotion. And there wasn't really anything like that there. So I'm sad that we lost her, because she seemed like she was going to be a really cool character, but I wanted to know what she was going to say. So now we have Naomi, Amos, Shed, and Alex left with Holden on the night, floating by the scopuli, and I don't know where we're going to go next. Space. Okay, guys, let's get into it. Too bright.
Crucial part of the formula. Neutralizes acidity, adds body.
Okay, it was a match. I thought that was really weird.
It's an acquired taste. Just wait and see.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name?
Sulfur?
Ade.
Ade, not Addie.
There's something you should know.
Yeah. What?
Debris field! Buckle up!
Tell your friends. Floating through space.
All right, sweetheart. You know how much I love you.
Well, that's sweet that he talks to his ship that way. I'm ready to see some space shit. I want some maneuvers. That's what I'm talking about. Oh. So did I just see the scopuli get, like, broken apart? So, like, they're not even gonna get on the scopuli. All my theories just blown to shit in, like, 2 seconds. Oh no, why is that opening? Why would that just randomly open? There's a lot happening right now. But what about all the debris? Ugh. Spoke too soon.
Do not lose that ship.
They do still have it.
They just dusted 50 of our friends.
Well, let's not make it 55.
Fair point.
What is wrong with you? I gave an order!
You think rank matters now?
Get up. I'll do it.
Plus, it's an emotional order. Ooh.
We're not going anywhere.
Good for you, girl. Good for you. She's not afraid of you. I like her. Holden's not a bad guy. He's just acting emotionally right now. I think I beat the shit. Yeah, the spine thing. I want to know what that's about. I was just going to say it's a really long shower for a planet that doesn't have a lot of water. asteroid that doesn't have a lot of water. And I like really long, hot showers. I couldn't last on series. Couldn't last.
One shipment late, you got protests. 2 shipments late, you got dead people in the street.
Still not a fan of the hat. This looks cool. Is this where rich girl Julie is from? That's why it looks so nice.
Father poured hot coffee in the parking lot. Home. I'm home.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
And you choose to live like some filthy handmaid among the riffraff of the solar system. Since you have no intention of returning home, I'm forced to consider selling the Razorback.
What's the Razorback?
Jesus, spare me. Show
Wait.
me my replies.
Show me my replies.
Were the eyes on that mouse changing color?
If you want to take yourself seriously as an adult, then why should I care about being your child? You want to sell the Razorback? Do it.
Ooh. I like Julie. Is he gonna? Yeah. Just use somebody else's water. It's fine. Like, what's going on with this guy?
What up, partner?
What does that mean? I just like, is the little guy just like making energy? Sad in here.
The Secretary General has publicly disavowed gravity torture. If you want to talk to that belcher, you put him in the tank.
But didn't she say put him back in the tank?
Because I'm a belter, I'm naturally your PA. I'm just a citizen of the belt.
I need to know how you got your hands on restricted stealth technology that could destroy the balance in the system.
You mean the balance between Earth and Mars? Either way, it's a lousy deal for belters.
Yep.
The question is, who?
That's my question. How did he get his hands on it?
Airlock's done. The outer door is gone.
Yeah. What's he gonna do?
The ship could crack apart. I'm telling you. We can't if we open those doors, please just listen to me. Listen to me.
I mean, that's where my head was going.
We're gonna die.
Breathe.
There, you chilled?
You just give him a little piece of bubble gum and that helped? What did that do? What was that?
It can always be worse.
Yeah, I mean, they could have died.
Expected you an hour ago. A week ago, those dead patches started appearing. My guess is the Gregas are stealing water again. Some belters clearly don't respect the green space's role in recycling the air and the water. Not to mention the embarrassment it causes the governor.
Oh, Jesus.
You seem sure it was Belters.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if everyone in Ceres had this view, they'd respect it more.
Yup. I like this guy.
There. Now you can make your own view.
Oh. So funny. Although as a plant lady, I'll take it. Still debris flying around.
Oh, shit!
Oh. Wait, how did that just get pulled out of his hand? I don't think I understand how space works.
You don't think we're gonna make it? What are you doing up here?
Naomi told me to. So I am. She's the cap now.
Yeah, she's the only one with like her head on straight. Is he drunk?
Copy that. There you go,
Or
sugar.
is he in short supply of oxygen? That's not good. I don't think he's doing good at all.
Hey, what's the deal with you and Naomi? You two an item or something?
An item? But ask me whether or not I should rip your helmet off and kick you off this bucket. And I can't give you a reason why I should. Or shouldn't. Except Naomi wouldn't like it.
What the hell does that mean? Does that confirm? Yes, he loves her. I just told you I can't decide whether or not I'd like to kill you. But could you hand me the drill?
He's hypoxic.
Yeah.
How long can he hold on?
Oh no.
Shed, take care of him. Do something.
What do you want me to do? There's no spare.
Put him out of his misery?
There it is. Breathe. Breathe, Alex. Just keep breathing.
Space is so terrifying. It's so terrifying. Oh no.
Don't look at it.
Oh, no, no, no. I feel like it would almost be better to have died in the Canterbury than having to deal with this.
Oh, piece of shit!
That's what I would do, is just hit it. That always works.
We have connection.
Well, like once they get in, then does all the oxygen release back into the cabin? Oh, thank God. I do not want to... Wait. Wait. Oh, really?
Oh!
Oh, indeed. I'd be terrified to fall asleep because, like, I'd be afraid I wouldn't wake up because we'd run out of oxygen.
If Earth can't afford a stealth program, how can a bunch of rock tossers?
They can't. Unless they have found a new friend like Mars.
And your Belter will like gravity on Luna better.
That's the only thing you like. I'm afraid for him.
So is, like, Luna like a jail?
If it has a battery, a power pack, any charge capability, it goes into a part.
Okay. They've got a plan, so that's good.
I'm sorry, does anyone need a back rub first?
I like Naomi.
If she hadn't gone and logged that stupid distress call,
Hey.
I said,
You don't know what you're talking about. You want to keep your teeth in your mouth.
Holden is so emotional. Not a problem with that. It's just chill, dude.
yes, sir.
She's a good leader.
Look at here.
Oh, probably isn't something you should munch on.
Huh? It's good. Good. We can sell him.
It looks dirty. Oh! That's a lot of wasted water.
That's everything you got?
Oh.
Hey, do not work!
Good grief.
Free sample. Oh, piss and vinegar. But when you mess with the water, that's when you're going down. Maybe a couple years on a prison barge and set them straight. Do what you gotta do.
Oh. Okay.
Get out of here.
Stay away from the aqua!
I did not see that coming.
Neither did I.
You see that coming?
Yeah.
This guy just wants to be a cop. Like, Miller is like an anti-cop.
The prisoner, Heike Sabon, took his own life by avoiding the high-gravity injections from his crash couch during the critical phase of the ascent when he knew the guards would be receiving their own injections. I think, Madam, he was making a statement. Earth's gravity. We used it to hurt him. He threw it back in our face.
Wow.
This beacon we answered isn't pirate tech. It's top-grade military stuff. Martian Congressional Navy.
Why would they nuke a civilian ship without warning?
Because they can. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think it's that easy either.
I guess all we gotta do now is pop a cold beer, wait to be rescued.
You hope.
Now there's a girl I'm not gonna forget anytime soon. We laid hands on her. God damn, she planted him in the deck.
Good.
Scopuli, dumpy old transport, no cargo, just this young lady and a few crew.
Send this ship manifest, will you?
I was wondering about a manifest. Like, why wouldn't her name be on there? But I guess it's not that easy to just look up every ship's manifest to see if your daughter's on it.
Someone heard us.
Someone heard us?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a good someone. What if it's the Razorback that was on the Scopuli? Hmm?
What? What is it? A ship. It's Mars.
Never mind.
The Donager. Flagship of the Martian Navy.
Is that who attacked them?
And we just told them where we were.
Well, shit.
The Canterbury was reported to be carrying ice bound for Ceres Station, and the loss of that shipment has prompted a drastic increase in water rationing station-wide.
Interesting. I kind of didn't realize that if Ceres doesn't get its ice shipment from the Canterbury, then it obviously does not have water and air from that said ice. Interesting. What you doing, buddy? That takes some skill. I just want to point that out.
Golly, Miss Val. Sure can pick 'em. That's a scar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a badge of defiance.
Makes her look tough.
My name is James Holden. Our ship was destroyed answering a bogus SOS
From a ship called the Scopuli. It was a trap.
Are you
We're
insane?
about to be taken aboard the MCRN Donager.
Alex, shut him down.
Lock us out. Should I smoke him?
I mean, Amos is like really happy to do it.
Any such action would only confirm that the Canterbury was destroyed by Mars.
He's a shoot from the hip kind of guy, isn't he? God.
One station, then it'll spread.
Don't count on it. The jammers were in range.
That ship is a lot bigger than I thought it was. I don't know why all I was thinking about was the claw game. Play fun games, win fun prizes. Ship. I mean, if they wanted him dead, they would have just destroyed the ship. Especially if their jammers were already in range. Yes?
You are prisoners of the Mars Congressional Republic. Move and you die.
Okay, so Holden, like, he's a wild card. He just does whatever he wants, whatever he thinks is necessary. He's a very emotional person. As an emotional person, I recognize my own kind. Naomi seems to really have a good head about her. She's actually a really good captain. So when Amos says he's only taking orders from her, it's a very smart move because she seems to know what she's doing, what she's talking about, and has the right head about her. Now, with Alex kind of running out of air and Shed helping him, I was very confused as to why or how the whole oxygen thing even worked. I'm glad that like once they got back in and they were able to repressurize, I realized that like the oxygen was released back into the cabin. But that was a pretty scary moment. Like, you know, like that's like I think a lot of people's fears about being in space is running out of air. Or having your eyes sucked out of your skull because of the vacuum of space. I think are both legitimate concerns. But Amos, he seems not only very loyal to Naomi, and I don't know if that equals relationship, if that equals love. I'm not sure what that equals. But he definitely is taking orders from her and only from her, and he does not like Holden whatsoever. And he even says, I don't know if I should or if I shouldn't kill you. It's almost kind of like, I don't really care. If she tells me to, I'm going to. And he looks at her when he's ready to shoot Holden for sending out that message, like, you want me to do it or not? And he's looking to her for leadership. I think I'm going to like her. I think I'm going to like her a lot. Now, with Christian, you do see her interrogate the the captive, who, now I get what they meant by put them in the tank, is that it takes a lot of relief off of their body, so they're actually able to be interrogated instead of tortured. To where he kind of isn't giving her anything. He's not saying whether or not it was Martian, whether or not it was just OPA. And she seems very calm, but she seemed very weary. And later on, we see Christian having a conversation with Ehrenreich about the fact that she knows that it's no longer a Cold War between Mars and Earth. I don't know really what gave her that idea, other than the fact that this terrorist, this OPA member, wasn't willing to really give her any information whatsoever. And I think she could sense that, like, he either got the stealth technology from Mars and there's an impending war with Mars for sure, or he got it elsewhere. And she sends him to Luna, which is just the moon, but I'm guessing there's a prison there that he didn't want to go to. So he's able to get out of his restraints, which is really interesting that like it was even pointed out that he pretty much committed suicide by the way that they were torturing him. That was kind of like an FU. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Again, I think I'm siding more with the Belters. I'm with the OPA. Like, I want them to be their own thing. I think that would be better than Earth and Mars going to war over them, is for them to be their own sovereign nation, sovereign community, world, whatever the belt would end up being. And then Miller, of course, is doing this investigation to figure out why there's water missing from this park that all the, I'm going to just say the series elite, get to kind of see on a daily basis. And his partner points out, like, maybe if the Belters had this view, they would care about, the fact that the grass isn't green, and they wouldn't try to steal water. The fact that the Canterbury didn't make its ice shipment and it was destroyed, it really didn't occur to me that, like, that ice was important until they kind of said they're already short one shipment. And if they're short two, one shipment means protest, two shipments means death. And you see how they have to ration the water. And I even said, like, I take long, hot showers, and Miller isn't even able to finish his shower. Thankfully, Julie hasn't been home in a long time. But we're still kind of getting a little bit more about Julie as well. Again, we know that, like, she was on the Scopuli, and we know that he knows she was on the Scopuli. I'm like trying to like think like she's gonna come save the day on the Razor something. I wanted to say the Razor Crest. That is not the right ship. But where is she? Has she been taken by the Martians? And I'm so happy that they call them the Martians, because, like, I'm thinking Little Green Man or like Marvin the Martian. But, like, they're just humans on Mars. I want to see aliens. I want to see aliens really badly. But now that the Martians have the 5 survivors of the Canterbury in their custody, after Holden sent that message, now, did that message get out? Was it really, jammed? Were the communications jammed? Did the Donager actually, like, jam the communications? Did they get the communications and they're just like, hey, this is a smart guy, or what is this guy even talking about? Were they responsible for the Canterbury blowing up? Did they think the Canterbury was responsible for something else? Are they trying to start a war? Like, what is going on? So I'm still not getting, like, gripped by anything. I will tell you that the whole loss of oxygen scene, like, makes me concerned for the night. But now that I know that they're on the Donager, I feel a little bit better. I don't feel like they're safe, but I feel better about it, rather than being hurtled into space with a ship that has holes in it, as I established in the first episode. Holes in ships are not good. So I think I'm going to have to get a couple more episodes in. I believe I've actually been told by, I think, 2 different people now that it takes a minute for the show to really catch its footing and take off. So I'm sticking with it. I'm not quitting by any means. But I really want to get gripped. But I also kind of want to get a little bit more knowledge of how they're telling the story. So I'm not always trying to guess things. I just know that they're either going to be presented, or I just have to wait for it to unfold, because I'm always thinking that there's a mystery that needs to be solved. And there is one kind of about Julie. I was wrong about the Scopuli and the Razorback being on the Scopuli and her showing up and rescuing them. Whatever. You win some, you lose some. Okay, guys. Like, subscribe, come back here for episode 3. All my full-length reactions will be on Patreon. In the meantime, I'll see ya.